Sausalito turkey it is.
Down there, one of those tentacles.
Maybe.
This other guy over here, I don't know.
I don't want to keep you if you have to go, so tell the people everything that you need to tell them now. This is the Golden Debate Show, fresh off the Golden Show, earlymorningout.com. Like, comment, share, and download.
Golden Debate Show. Word. Deuces, sayonara. Stay open, stay classy. Like, comment, share, and download. Share the love. And
most importantly, stay golden.
Warning.
always, all day, every day. Life, body, and soul.
As long as the rain's over by the weekend, we'll be able to play a little basketball, kiddo, but not looking too particularly good. I think tornadoes or hurricanes fucking fucked all types of shit up down south. It's not even hurricanes.
It's just tropical weather.
Or is it hard cut? I'll say that shit. Probably not, though. It's a little too early for hot season, though. Like, comment, share, and download open mics and earlymorningout.com. Golden Debate Show, Golden Show. Tone, say peace.
Sayonara in the river there.
Let me get a keep lighting.
It's incredible that it was in our lifetime.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just hard to wrap your head around the idea that people were capable of judging people just by the color of their skin just a few years ago. And really today, too, there's plenty of people that do it today. They just can't do it as openly as, whites only, faucets and shit like that.
Well, the Sterling thing, I mean, everybody's talking about. What do you think about this?
He's an old dude, man. There's a lot of old racists, man. There's a lot of old guys that grew up in that era. You know, I mean, think about if you're 82 years old.
Yeah.
That guy has been around, man.
Absolutely.
You know, so 40 years ago, we're talking about the 1970s, you know, the 60s before that when he was like our age.
Yeah.
That guy he's old as fuck, man.
Well, I hope it doesn't make everybody think that all 82-year-old Jewish general managers of NBA teams with a super hot 22-year-old girlfriend are racist.
You know, the dude obviously got set up.
Yeah.
But isn't it weird that, like, what if we find that more people think like that? Like, what if we're persecuting this guy now because he said it?
Yeah.
But what if we find out, like, sometime in the future, you know, just have a guy sit down and stare into a screen for a couple of seconds and then read your eyeballs and go, oh, you fucking hate black people. You know what I mean? And, like, it turns out that, like, this shit has been in your head the whole time.
That's funny.
And people have been saying things the whole time. It starts, like, reading your memory of all the different times of the past where you called someone a nigger. You're like, oh, shit. And it just starts pulling it out of your brain. And, like, hey, man, you did everything you persecuted that guy for. I think there's a lot of people doing that. And there's a lot of people that are jumping up to blame the guy. Yeah, he's definitely racist. Yeah, he definitely shouldn't be working with the NBA. But he's an old dude. It's more sad than anything.
Well, that's funny how you bring it up, like, you know, like how racist is somebody. Like, I think if you watch the Winter Olympics, you're a racist. Because that is the whitest thing. You know what I'm saying? All that ice skating and skiing, that's all white. It's just whiteness.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so it's like, if you know Sochi, and I'm like, there you go.
Yeah, there's probably racists that move far north just to get away from black people. Like, they know they're going to be around white people. Only white people are crazy enough to want to ski all the time.
White flight.
At first I was thinking, though, what if he has, like, early signs of
autism.
Autism.
The other one.
Yeah, where you can't, now I can't think of it.
Amnesia?
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Because I know when my great-grandmother had Alzheimer's, she was racist as fuck, and she thought I was her husband, and, like, it was just, and she sounded normal. She's like, oh, you're Brian. Oh, come here, baby. You know, like.
Well, that's a good point, really, because anyone who gets older, like that old, your brain's compromised. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing to witness. You know, they get dementia, they get real wacky. It's a sad thing to witness, but it's inevitable, it seems like. And it doesn't seem, they've never figured out anything to slow it down either. Once that shit starts, it's like, you know, it's gonna keep going bad.
It's even scarier also to think that how horrible that woman was in it. Like, she just made me mad because you could tell how much she was fishing that poor guy, you know. But how many girls do that? Like, record, like, get to the end of a relationship, like, you know what, I'm gonna ruin this guy by recording them and posting their text messages.
Well, he's a multi-billionaire who says a lot of racist shit, and she's half black. You know, I mean, how do you think that feels to her?
Yeah. She's half pissed.
She's half black. I think she's half Mexican too.
Oh, really?
Beautiful girl.
Wow. Yeah,
but
she is hot.
She, you know, she probably felt like, fuck this old racist asshole that I've been blowing for the past couple of years.
Yeah, but really, I mean, like, how old is she? She's in her 20s, right?
I don't know, but Vivid and a black cock you could get together.
Well, it's already happened. That was one of the things that I thought was hilarious about the recording was that the dude said, I don't care if you fuck them.
Yeah, well, he wants to watch.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe now.
Might be all cuckoldy. Yeah, there's dudes that are purposely targeting her. Their dicks are like guided missiles. Giant athletes.
Well, I don't know.
Giant
She
dicks.
should have thought it out also because, I'm sure they broke up, right? I mean, where else is she going to find another 82-year-old billionaire Jewish owner of a NBA team? I mean, if that's her style, her guy,
It's really hilarious that prostitution is illegal. It really is hilarious. Because if prostitution wasn't illegal, none of this would be a problem. That guy, look, their relationship, who knows what it was at one point in time, but it's safe to say that when it boils down to a chick recording you and baiting you to talk bad about black people, that fucking relationship is like, she doesn't really like me anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, right? In fact, she's trying to get back. Come on, man. So she targeted him for money. And everybody, yeah, for sure. But the crazy thing is that, like, his wife is trying to get the money back now, saying that she embezzled it. Look, that's how it goes. If you're an old, wrinkly dude and you want to bang a hot chick, you got to give her something.
Yeah, but if you have grandchildren older than your girlfriend, because he has to have grandchildren that are older than her.
The old Nautilus pullover machine is a pretty funny picture. I actually had it in my gym at one point, this gorilla. But I saw Mickey throw a fit with its trainer one time and threw a head of cabbage at the guy because it was pissed off about something, I don't know. But hit the guy in the head and knocked him out.
Wow.
Just a head of cabbage, dude. Imagine the power.
Maybe the guy had a glass jaw.
I don't know. It looked to me like it was the back side of the head. But
wow.
Knocked this guy out, man.
Yeah, I bet it was
Just
coming
with
at 300 miles an hour.
For sure, man. I mean, you did not want to. I mean, it just gave you the idea just how
this guy's
powerful
a
these
top
animals
fitness
are.
guy.
Yeah, we can't even wrap our
crazy.
head around
Brazilian
what an
jiu-jitsu
800-pound
guy,
primate would be like, the
man,
kind of
fucking
strength
with
that
an
they would
animal,
have.
crazy.
It would just be ridiculous. A chimpanzee, they say that 100... Is this him right here? That's him right there. The photo up there on the screen?
That's it.
Wow.
Mickey the gorilla.
I can't believe the guy kept
Well, I
the
can't believe you
gorilla.
found that picture. Nice research, man.
Powerful Google.
I actually had that poster.
Down in one of those
in my gym at one
catacombs.
point.
They say that a
There's other
chimp
guys
is
that they
a
look
150-pound
like,
chimp
I
is supposed to have the strength of a
This don't make no
500-pound
sense to
man.
everybody.
So what does an 800-pound gorilla have?
Just unfathomable.
Yeah, they probably just tear you apart, just pull you
Pretty
to pieces.
much. Pretty much. And, you just have to wonder about these researchers laying out there in the grass with these things.
You ever see them
Dying
stand
fauces.
still?
It's like, good God almighty, man.
When they bluff charge you, you can't move.
Ooh, man.
You have to stand still.
It's
Oh,
too much for me, man.
well, they didn't even know that gorillas were real until the early 1900s. It was just a legend. That was a recent discovery as far as biologists would just hear about these things that lived in the jungles, but they didn't have any real evidence of mountain gorillas until I think it was like 1910 or something like that. And they finally started seeing them and taking photographs of them. Can you imagine the first person to stumble across a fucking gorilla and realize that's a real thing? It's only 100 years ago.
Of course, in those days, they were into trophy hunting, and they're probably just shooting the hell out of these things. And they're pretty peaceful, from what I understand. I mean, they let you alone.
Yeah,
They're
there's a lot of trophy hunters now.
reclusive and all that.
Yeah.
What was really amazing to me was the chimpanzees. They commit murder and rape, and the different tribes actually hunt each other, and they're cannibals.
Yeah.
They're not the cute little things that you. They're nasty little guys.
Yeah, that's another thing about chimps. They didn't find out until the 90s that they even ate meat.
Yeah, they're omnivores.
There's
Just
other
pretty
guys
much
that they look
that's what I
like,
can say.
I don't know.
98% of our
This don't make no
of
sense
our
to everybody.
DNA.
That's the crazy thing
I
about
just want to take a
gorillas.
moment and just share my perspective on the Donald Sterling controversy. And I think that one thing that can be learned from this
He's a 5%er, he
incident
breaks down things.
is how power
And,
relationships
he
or
was a good
power
point of view.
dynamics work
So open
or
minds on
shouldn't
empty
work.
ones like I'm tearing down them.
A lot of people were confused. Some were shocked that Donald Sterling would make these statements about people of color when his own girlfriend is a person of color. When the majority of the players on his basketball team are people of color, his head coach is a person of color, and as a real estate investor, he rents out to a lot of people of color. In terms of power relations, that is a very logical way that people in his position or seat of power think in terms of people who don't have that position or seat of power. In terms of his relationship, he was not with his girlfriend and he's not with her, or they're not together. She's with him.
They're having trouble hitting the goal.
The players on his basketball team play for him on his team. He doesn't play for them. His head coach, Doc Rivers, is his coach. He pays Doc Rivers to coach. And in terms of being a real estate investor, these tenants, who are people of color, rent from him. So he is in the position and in the seat of power in terms of all of those type of dynamics. Now, the conversation he was having with his girlfriend was about her compromising or undermining his seat and position of power. So a lot of us can understand that, because as everyday people who may not have the type of money and influence that a Donald Sterling have, a lot of us speak in the same exact way. You know, you have people who make comments and statements about them Jehovah's Witnesses. I ain't open up my door. So some of us don't want to associate with Jehovah's Witnesses, or we may be in relationships with people and we encourage them to don't mess with them Muslims or them Christians. Or they eating pork. No, I don't want you over there. Or a lot of us have the same type of concerns in terms of power relationships, and we interact in the same type of way where we don't want to associate with some people, or we disassociate with certain people for various different reasons outside of race. It may be because of religion, it may be because of sexuality, it may be because of age, it may be because of a lot of different things. But the only difference is you have this person who is in a position of influence and power or social
is a monetary system where a country's currency, for example the US dollar, has a value directly linked to gold. Between 1871 and 1914, the gold standard was the dominant money system in the world, and governments worked pretty well together to keep it ticking along. Under this system, countries agreed to exchange their currencies for a fixed amount of gold, and then set a fixed price at which their gold could be bought and sold. So, for example, if the United States fixed the price of its gold at $20 an ounce, then the US dollar would be worth 1/20th of an ounce of gold, and could therefore be exchanged for 1/20th of an ounce of gold. This meant that the country couldn't have more currency in circulation than it's held in gold supplies, because otherwise that currency couldn't be exchanged for the agreed fixed amount of gold. The US, for example, couldn't just print more dollar bills to pay for things, because there wouldn't be the gold supplies to back it up, and those bills would effectively have no value. And because gold is a natural resource, there's only a limited supply of it to go around. Governments can't just create more of it. Of course, some countries strike lucky from time to time and find a large supply of it in their grounds. For example, the California gold discovery of 1848. But such finds are uncommon and can also cause a shock to money systems by instantly increasing a country's money supply, which in turn raises price levels and causes instability. But going back to the idea that most countries couldn't just instantly and drastically increase their gold supplies, because countries often get into debt and have lots of spending commitments, this restriction didn't suit many of them, and when faced with the costly wars of the 20th century, developed nations did away with the gold standard and opted for a money system known as fiat instead.
Because Rihanna, one of the most popular pop stars in the world, and one of Time Magazine's most influential people, is now producing porn. She's posting fully nude photos of herself on Instagram, Twitter, and posting nude in magazines in an unprecedented move from a pop star. I've been calling her a singing stripper for quite some time, and she's more than living up to that. She got her Instagram account temporarily suspended for terms of service violation for posting her clear pornographic pictures. But of course it was reinstated because she's a celebrity. Celebrities are above the terms of service. Celebrities can do anything they want to, as we saw with YouTube reinstating Robin Thicke's pornographic Blurred Lines music video. Rihanna, I'm talking fully nude photos, not just, pictures like this that are sexually suggestive where she's covered up. I'm talking fully nude pictures.
A 100-foot tall crucifix that was built in honor of Pope John Paul II. It collapsed onto a 21-year-old man and killed him just days prior to John Paul II being declared a saint. This happened in a small town in a village in the Italian Alps on Thursday before John Paul II.
That's one hell of a bendy crucifix. I mean, I'm not a crucifix expert. That looks bendy to me.
It's more of an art kind of installation, symbolic of. So when you're standing,
is that not sacrilegious?
In
You're
front
allowed
of
to
it,
do that?
You're not looking up. He's literally
right
here.
Jesus.
So there was a bunch of school kids here.
Warning.
Visiting for a ceremony in conjunction with the making of the saint.
Sanctification? Is that the word we're looking for?
You can call it that. And the thing snapped. Okay,
that's awful. I mean, that's again basic health and safety would have suggested that maybe. I mean, it's a bendy. I mean, go look back at it. It looks pretty bendy. You would have think that would be your first question.
It's a bit
Is it going to snap?
Yeah, it's been there since 2005 though, and they recently just did maintenance.
Starting to
Golden
crumble.
Clip, let's get into the
So
next
get
one.
ready, Americans.
The No
Poopy
Agenda
water.
Show.
It's what's
Check them out at
going to be on your
noagenda.com.
dinner table soon enough.
All right, hold on a second. First of all, poopy water. Excellent. Let me just, I'll ring the bell for poopy water. What was with the drum fill?
We see a future.
What was that?
That wasn't me.
Is there some guy just like, hey, we got to do this thing. We're going to make fun of the Yankees on this piece here. We need some, I don't know, you got a drum fill? Yeah, hold on.
Down there, one of those calicos.
And that's the propaganda that Herman Munster is so worried about?
Yeah, they're just giving it to us. They're giving us the needle.
By the way, we got an email from Joe. Adam, I work at a water treatment plant in upstate New York. I just listened to show 611 and had to laugh about the municipality dumping their reservoir full of treated water for somebody peeing in it. This is the story that you had on Thursday.
Exactly.
First of all, finished or potable water is usually treated with chlorine and is required to have a residual amount of available chlorine to keep the water clean as it travels through the distribution system, so it would have killed any bacteria added to the water by the urine. Second, the dilution factor of urine to treated water would make the containment undetectable by most any equipment used by public water systems. And third, John is absolutely right about birds pooping in reservoirs. When our reservoir was open to the air and elements, we had hundreds of birds nesting under our pump house, which hung over the reservoir. These birds provided a nearly constant stream of poop in the water. However, no outbreaks of any diseases were ever contracted through our water. Chlorine works, kids. P.S. Chlorine gas can definitely kill you. This is the kind of information you get on the No Agenda Show, people.
It's confirmation.
That's right. All right. Back to Watermelon Head Carrie, who is so upset about the Russia Today program, network,
down there in one of those
propagandizing pooping in the... He must have stock or something in this country. There's no reason other than to trump up something that does not exist for him to mention that.
Happening.
It's weird. It's totally weird that he would mention it at all.
I think this is what I'm saying, though, is that they're so...
I can't believe... Well, maybe there is a... But I don't think...
No, they're beside themselves. They can't get anything going. I'll give you my analysis after we listen to the last minute of this douche.
Not happening in Ukraine. Instead, in plain sight, Russia continues to fund, coordinate, and fuel a heavily armed separatist movement in Donetsk.
Now, this is interesting because we know that the State Department continues to try and make the connection between the people...
Carrie, at the World
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, Chris will applaud you,
Thank you very much.
vampires.
Thank you.
He knows everything about me.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Let me tell you guys.
Thanks a lot.
So go to the universe.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Fred. Thank you all very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for a standing ovation. Winston Churchill said the only reason that people stand and give a standing ovation is they desperately need an excuse to shift their underwear. Down there, one of those catacombs. There's other guys that they look like.
I know you all have a much more noble thought in mind.
For your courage, Golden Show. Golden Debate Show.
The lady down there yesterday that you had reported in HuffPost still from a guy out in Chicago. Quote, I worked for a major bank for 33 years, helping our clients, their business, and the community. I got 6 months of unemployment, and it stopped. I've been trying to get a job in the banking industry again. I have a whole folder of postings I applied for. Chicago's the third worst state for unemployment. The extension would help me pay medical expenses and bills. What can you tell a guy like that? You say, hang in there, right? I mean, there are millions and millions of people like that all over the country.
Right. So he got 6 months of benefits and it stopped, and that's because when his state benefits ended, there were no federal benefits because Congress let those expire in December. So he would have gotten another several months at least had that not been the case.
And these people are really just SOL. I mean, they're right.
They really are.
Yeah, and no, even though the Senate has passed a bill, still no prospect of any action in the House on that issue.
It is not on the majority leader's agenda. Eric Kennedy puts out every few weeks a list of what we're going to do in our next work session.
Now we all know
in our universe and society today. But the one thing that black people win hands down is racism. No other people can stir the pot, or whether it be done by black or white people, regarding who said what about who shot John.
When you start taping,
we've got to end
shit in their
this.
homes. I don't know.
Otherwise, black people are going to go into extinction known for only one thing: racism.
Let me tell you why.
And we got to stop the profiteering from. We got to take the profit out of racism. You take the profit out of it, it'll die. I'm telling you, it'll die. Listen, let me say something to you. And besides, we got a much bigger fight to fight
That's why
with the sodomy.
drone strike issue is such a huge hot button for them. The Senate has even agreed with the intelligence chief, James Clapper, on this. They agreed that the American people should not know the number of people that are killed by U.S. drone attacks overseas, nor should they hope to understand the circumstances under which such lethal killings are authorized or executed. Now, U.S. senators removed a provision from a major intelligence bill that originally required the president to issue an annual public report clarifying the total number of combatants and non-combatant civilians that are killed or injured by drone strikes in the previous year. But Senate leaders removed this language because they're preparing to bring the bill to the floor for a vote. And at the behest of James Clapper, he assured them in a recent letter that the Obama administration was looking for its own ways to disclose more about its highly controversial drone strikes.
Speaking of which, I'll read an article from Infowars.com. Because, like I said, sometimes they have some interesting stuff. It's just the way that they deliver it. So come on, it's not empty ones. Let's go. This one's written by Paul Joseph Watson and the man Alex Jones himself. Feds deploy national spy system of microphones. Hidden in plain sight, the next level of NSA snooping will detect dissent via obscurious audio sensors. The revelations of Edward Snowden shine fresh light on the NSA spying targeting the American people, but what has gone largely unnoticed is the fact that a network of different spy systems which can record real-time conversations are already in place throughout many urban areas of the United States, as well as in the technology products that we buy on a regular basis. These systems are no secret. They are hidden in plain view, and their concerns about the monolithic potential and the abuse have been muted. That lack of dissension represents a massive lost opportunity for the privacy community, because where polls have shown apathy, indifference, and even support for NSA spying. Anecdotal evidence suggests that the people would be up in arms if they knew about the content of their daily conversations were under surveillance. The dystopian movie V for Vendetta features a scene in which goons working for the totalitarian government drive down residential streets with spy technology, listening to people's conversations to detect the virulence of the criticism against the state. Such technology already exists or is rapidly being introduced to a number of different geniuses in America and numerous other developed countries. The Washington Post recently published a feature-length article on gunshot detectors known as Shot Spotter, which detailed how in Washington, D.C., during at least 300 acoustical sensors across 20 square miles of the city, the microphones are wrapped in a weatherproof shell that can detect the location of a sound to a few yards and analyze the audio using a computer program. While the systems are touted as gunshot detectors, as the New York Times reported in May 2012, I don't know why I'm doing that voice, similar technology is already installed in over 70 cities. I know they are in mine in New Haven, FEMA Region 1, by the way, around the country, and in some cases it is being used to listen to conversations in at least one city, New Bedford, Massachusetts, where the sensors recorded a loud street argument, and that accompanied a fatal shooting in December. The systems have raised questions about privacy and the reach of police surveillance, even in the service of reducing gun violence, states the report. Frank Cameron, the lawyer of Jonathan Flores, a man charged with murder, complained that the technology was opening up a whole new can of worms. If the police are utilizing these conversations, then the issue is, where does it stop?
The science is
now,
in!
I often say that's fine and dandy, but they've They're going to say that it's the millions of shit that they haven't stopped, but they haven't really stopped none of this big shit. And they're not gonna. I mean, shit crazy is going to happen even with a knife here in my state of Connecticut. Just a high school girl was stabbed by a dude, and you know, so you could take away all the weapons, people will find a fucking rock to hit each other with. Humans are godlike, and we are supposed to be better than animals, but in many senses we are animal and have animal tendencies, and animals kill each other, we kill each other, and spying. I don't know, man. Like I said, you're taking away businesses from people, what they say in their homes. You're recording all this information. You know it's going in a big-ass dossier file report of everything. So, I just don't know what the end means is for. I know for what. I ain't done with the cannoli, by the way, and we ain't done with the show. For when Terminator comes, Skynet. Nah, open minds and empty ones like I'm a chair and download. earlymoneabout.com. Remember in here through that one, and I read that one kind of because I was trying to find this one, but
down in one of those catacombs.
Show goes on.
There's other guys.
Music influences on the brain. The study how music affects the brain has been subject of interest to many. The interconnection between music and the physical and mental health of human beings has been researched on since long. Research has concluded that music does have a positive effect on our mind. It has the power of healing certain ailments. Indian classical music has been found to have the strongest healing properties. Music has been a calming effect on the mind and has been known to speed the recovery of health ailments. It helps fight anxiety and has a soothing effect on the brain. Effects of music on the mental state. It fights depression, feeling depressed, gloomy, or inadequate. Soothing music can help you. Depression reduces brain activity and hampers the mind's ability to find and carry out tasks. Lack of the neurotransmitter serotonin results in a depressed state of mind. Soothing musical notes help increase the serotonin levels of the brain, thus alleviating mental depression. Natural music notes are known to make the mind alert. Relieves anxiety. Anxiety is a feeling of fear and uncertainty. The feeling is mostly about an upcoming event having an unknown outcome. The result is what you are afraid of or worried about. Increased anxiety levels and stress levels.
Down in one of those catacombs.
Prolonged
There's
periods
other guys,
of anxiety
and it looks like,
may even lead to anxiety disorders.
This don't make no sense,
music
everybody.
can come to rescue. It calms the body's nerves and soothes the mind. Flat musical notes induce sleeping. Improve learning abilities. Music affects the process of learning and thinking. Listening to quiet and soothing music while working helps you to work faster and in a more efficient way. Music has the ability to make you more positive and feel motivated. Research has shown that music brings about remarkable improvements in the academic skills of students who are made of listening to certain kinds of music while studying or working in the lab. Listening to pleasant music while doing a task can make it seem easier. It boosts your confidence. Music has a positive effect on the interpersonal skills of an individual. Their lack of confidence and very less or no desire to learn is more so often the result behind a failure. It's not always the inability. Students obtaining poor school grades do not necessarily lack intelligence. It's their
having trouble getting
lack of motivation that leads to poor academic performances. Music lessons during school.
The obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments.
The ghost and the darkness have come.
Download open minds out. That's the boys. I got distributors, favorite everybody.
Keep people alive. GoldenShow. earlymoneymall.com. Go.
Shine the goldness in the darkness. We out. Yeah.
All that talking like that, or that, in your hood, golden shows, golden road, strobe lights, laser lights, look at my gold, so gold that it's bonkers, like a shit again. No, he said, we're talking like this, talking like that, talking, golden debate show, golden debate show, like this, we're talking hood, drawn around, and you got talking in chat, you know, coming after that, golden show, golden road, golden road, golden road, golden road,
Golden
You
Dome.
don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind.